This video will be covering combining like terms and the distributive property. So this is going to be our Math 6 Chapter 3 end test review. So let's go ahead and get started. Our first couple problems are asking us to simplify the expressions. So this is going to be our combining like terms. So what we have to do first is take our expression and separate it into separate terms. So that means you're going to be drawing these lines in front of any plus or minus sign that you see. Then we're going to use what we called squares and squiggles. We're going to put a little box, a little square around our first term. Look to see if there's any other terms that are like terms with 6x, meaning we're looking for other terms that have an x connected to them. Here we've got this plus 6. Since both of those are positive, we're going to be adding those together. Then we've got our constant here, and we'll put a little squiggle under there. We also have another constant at the end, so it means we can combine those as well. So we've got 6x plus 3x. It gives us 9x. We've got 2 plus 5, and we get plus 7. So our answer here is 9x plus 7 when we simplify. The second problem has 5 terms. Again, we need to separate our terms first. I'm going to put a box around my first term for r. So I'm looking for any other terms that have an r. So actually, we can box this plain r here and this 2r here. And what I want to point out first before we start combining is that when we have a variable all by itself, if you compare it to the other two that we've put boxes around, this means there's 4 r's, this means there's 2 r's. So because there's no number in front of this one, that means there's only 1. So that 1's not always written. I like to go in there and add that in. So then when we're combining all of our r's together, we don't forget to add that in. So we've got 4r plus 1 more r plus 2 more. So we get 7r. And then again, we've got 2 constants. Both have that plus sign, so we know we're adding. It's going to be plus 18. So 7r plus 18 is our answer for that one. We've got 2 more. Let's go ahead and separate our terms for this first one. I'm going to put a square around 4d. Again, we've got this d that doesn't have a number in front of it, so I'm going to add that 1 there. And this one actually has a subtraction sign attached to it, so that means when we're combining, we're actually going to subtract first. Put little squiggles underneath our 2 constants here. Again, there's a subtraction sign, so we are subtracting when we combine. So we've got 4d minus 1d gives us 3d. 9 minus 8 gives us a positive 1, so it's 3d plus 1. There's 9 here, we're taking away 8, so we're left with 1 constant left over. Now, this fourth example here is slightly different. We actually have a set of parentheses. So what we have to do first is we have to use our distributive property. We're going to take 6. We're going to take this 6 and we're going to distribute it to both terms inside of our parentheses. We've got 6 multiplied by x gives us 6x. We use this plus sign. 6 times 4 gives us 24. And then we just drop down what we haven't used yet, so plus 1. Now, since we have that simplified a little bit, we need to see if we can combine any like terms. So I'm going to put a box around my 6x. There aren't any other x's that I can combine. So I'm going to put a little squiggle under 24. And I also have another constant. So I'm going to put a squiggle under that. So that means I can only combine my constants. And they're both plus signs, so we're going to add them. So we get 6x plus 25. Okay, we're moving on. This one's a little bit new to us. Just find the perimeter of the following shape. Perimeter means that we add all sides. And then simplify the expression, and that's if we can. So here's the expression. What we've done is we've just added these 4 sides together. I've got 18 plus 2x plus 7 plus 18 plus 7 again. So then I've got my expression. I'm going to separate my terms. I'm going to put a box around my first one, so that's a constant. So I'm looking for all the other constants I have here. I've got a lot of them. So I have to add up 18 twice, and I have to add up 7 twice. So I'm going to add up 2 18s plus 2 more 7s, and I get 50. Then I've only got this one little 2x there, so I'm going to add plus 2x. Now the proper way would be variable first, 2x plus 50, but either answer is going to be fine here. So 50 plus 2x, or if we have 2x plus 50. But that would be the simplified expression that expresses the perimeter of this shape, of this trapezoid. So we're going to go ahead and use the distributive property now. So this is the second part of what our test will be over. It says use the distributive property to find the product. So we're actually going to start with just numbers, or instead of going straight into variables. So what we have to do here is we have to take our 2-digit number and we have to break it down into expanded form. So 40 plus 9 is the same as 49. We put our 6 on the outside and we're distributing here. So we have to do 6 times 40 plus 6 times 9. So 6 times 40 is 240. 6 times 9 is 54. When we add those together, we get 294. And that's just a way of showing how the distributive property applies to not only variables, but also whole numbers when we're multiplying. So 294 is our answer there. We've got another one, 7 multiplied by 86. So again, I'm put 7 on the outside. Break down 86 to tens and ones. We've got 80 plus 6. We're going to multiply 7 times 80 first. We get 560. Then we use this addition sign, since our problem originally had that addition sign. And then we're going to multiply our 7 by 6, and we get 42. When we add those together, we end up getting a pretty large number. We get 602. So our answer to 7 multiplied by 86 is 602. We're going to keep using the distributive property, but here we're only able to simplify. We're not actually able to answer the question because we don't know the values of our variables. So our first one here is 5, and then in parentheses 8 minus, or excuse me, x minus 8. We're going to take our 5, multiply it by x. Take our 5, multiply it by 8. So 5 times x, since we don't know the value of x, we just write 5x. We use a subtraction sign, and then 5 times 8 is 40. So our answer here is just 5x minus 40. Remember to draw your arrows. Writing those multiplication signs also help us remember that we have to multiply our outside number by both numbers on the inside. We've got another one very similar. We've got our 7 that we're going to distribute to our y and to our 5. So 7 times y is 7y. Use the plus sign since it's in our problem. And 7 times 5 is 35. Again, our answer here is 7y plus 35. And our last problem here is actually a word problem. So it says you and 4 of your friends. So when I read this, I think that is 5 people. You and 4 other people. So you have to count yourself. You go to a movie and each buy popcorn. Each one of you buys popcorn. So we've got our prices up at the top here, this top right-hand corner. Student tickets are $8, adult tickets are $10. So it's you and your friends, so you guys are students. And then we want to buy popcorn, each one of us. Our question says, use the distributive property to write an expression for the total cost to buy movie tickets and popcorn. So if you were just going by yourself, you would pay $8 for this movie ticket plus X amount of dollars for the popcorn. But it's not just you going. You actually have 4 other people going with you. So you're going to take that 8 plus X, which is the amount of money you would spend, multiply it by 5 since there's a total of 5 people going. You have 5 people multiplied by this X plus 8 because this, 8 plus X represents how much money you would spend on the movie ticket and the snack. Now it does say to simplify. So we have to distribute. And we get 40 plus 5x. So that's going to be the expression that would tell us how much money you and your 4 friends would be spending if we knew how much popcorn cost. Right now, we don't know how much popcorn cost. I'm going to write the X's number, or the X stands for the amount of money for popcorn, so we don't forget that. Now, the second part actually lets us solve something. So it says, how much would you spend if each bag of popcorn costs $5. So now we actually have a value for our x. So we can take that expression, 40 plus 5x, and we're going to plug in how much we know popcorn to be now. So 5 times 5. So we've got this $40 that we're spending just on tickets, plus 5 times 5 now, because it's 5 bags of popcorn, $5 a piece. So we have to do our multiplication first. We get 25. And then we add that to the $40 we knew that we were spending already on tickets. So total, that ends up being $65. So total, you and your 4 friends are spending $65 at the movie theater. So that ends our video. Go ahead and rewatch any section you feel like you need to. Look over your notes, look over graded homework, and good luck studying.